Hey everyone, welcome back to another weekly review of my trading journey. This week definitely started out a little bit rough and got better as the week progressed, so let's just dive right into all the trades that I took. Before we get into Monday's journal here, you'll see at the start of the week, my main challenge was grappling with overcoming fear and hesitation because this is my first week trading with my Express account with this strategy. I was noticing that on many trades I hesitated, so I missed the trade, and almost all those trades would have resulted in wins, so I was really screwing myself over by doing that, by having that fear and letting it control me. And I realized it's usually better to just pull the trigger, as you'll see in Monday's journal. So let's just get into it. A lot of my trades that I have journaled I didn't take, only the ones with the blue I took. So I'll just show you those for shortness of the video's sake, I guess. So right here on Monday, I took this trade, and first trade of the week, I wrote that it was the most unfortunate outcome of any trade I've taken over the last month and a half, and it was my first trade with my Express. So at the start of the week, I was doing 6.25 stop loss and 11 point TP for 1.75 R. That's just what I want to do. That's what I thought would work well because of my testing from the weekend prior here, or my data gathering. So this trade actually hit 10.75 points. So one tick away from my TP right here, and then it reversed. You can see all my confluences here, but after this, I decided to change my risk management. I looked back at all my trades again, and I started doing 4 points, as you'll see from the rest of my journal, 4 point stop loss and 10 point take profit for a 2.5 R because that seemed to really work well in my trades, and it had a bigger gain than this risk management strategy. Moving on, I was in this trade. I think this was on my Combine because I was only taking one trade per day on my Express and one on my Combine. So as you can see, I took this off the SMT below, lots of orders on Bookmap, bottom of the high volume node right here, which I remember Cami usually takes off the bottom of the high volume node or the far side of it, and the bottom of the range here where price kept bouncing off right here. So it was a decent trade, but as you can see here, I literally exited the trade basically at break even, small gain, because I was scared, and that would have been another 2R. So that was my Monday, and if I had went for the 4 point stop, 8 point target, that would be plus 2R here on Monday, and even more so if I had held that Combine trade. So rough Monday, rough start here. Another significant challenge that I faced during the start of the week, I think Tuesday especially, was the long hours of just sitting here looking at my chart waiting, because usually I get lots of trades, but that day or two, Tuesday and Wednesday, or just Tuesday, I was just not getting any trades for a long time. So I was sitting there for like 2.5 hours straight, just looking at the charts, and it was really getting to me. Probably because I was frustrated with the super close win on Monday with that one tick off TP with the real money. That was getting to me, I think. So I decided to look at when I placed all my trades, or a majority of my trades, and now I have a better schedule where I get on a little bit later. And really it just comes down to realizing, okay, it's only like 2 or 3 hours of your day. If it's boring, that's fine, that's good. You know that you would rather it than going and working somewhere for 8 hours a day to make the same amount of money that you would make here sitting for 2 or 3 hours. So it's just perspective, really, just something that I have to get used to. So we'll get into Tuesday here. Right away, this was a frustrating day because I saw this potential setup, but unfortunately my friend who shares Bookmap with me, he was busy, so he couldn't share this day. So I was trying to watch a live stream on YouTube, but it was delayed and it was really ugly, and I just had no confidence trading with it. As you'll see right here, this is kind of what it looked like. Nothing like my usual Bookmap, and it was delayed by over 10 seconds, so it was basically useless. But I did end up taking this trade right here. I think just because I got sick of waiting, honestly. Like, I don't even know what this trade is. Oh yeah, this is a bad trade, which I went break even on at 5 points instead of following my rules. I was just getting so bored and so frustrated. So that's a really big issue that I had early in the week. Just no patience, really. Just sitting there for hours and hours. My brain was just going numb. But I did end up taking a trade later on as well, which was a loss. And I mentioned that I should have probably just got off the charts. But I didn't want to have another day with no trade. So yeah, that's not really thinking of trading like a business, but something that I have to work on. And it did get better. But yeah, here we had SMT below, probably right here or something. We're delivering from this little high volume node here. Lots of orders here on Bookmap. Not sure on the reaction from Bookmap, but we're also in the discount of the range, kind of. Depends how you draw out the range. So yeah, not the best trade ever. But there was trades before this that work. See, SMT, just like this. So I just ended up taking the worst one. Maybe I hesitated on this. Maybe I didn't have confidence. I don't know. Maybe I just missed it. But yeah, unfortunate. And I was down 1R on the week when I should be up a few R for sure if I executed everything correctly. Okay, so I'm doing, at this point, 4-point stop, 10-point target still for a 2.5 R. So then we get on to Wednesday when I actually see an improvement in my mental game, which I have to work on because it's crucial in trading. So going down to the first trade that I took, right here, we see lots of orders on Bookmap, SMT above around the golden zone of the range, retrace to the high volume node. Okay, so this trade, we came up right here, boom. I entered short here on the way down. Price continued pushing down to 9 points, was it? So I'm aiming for 10 points. It shot down to 9 points, right? This was on Combine, but still, I couldn't believe that it went to like 2.25 R when my TP's at 2.5 R, and then it went back to break even. So that really pissed me off, and I was just like, wow, what is my luck? So after that, I decided I'm going to do 4-point stop, 8-point target for a 1 to 2 on every trade. And I know I keep switching up my risk management, but honestly, I'd much rather have a lower risk reward and a higher win rate, even if it's less profitable in the long run. I just realized that I can't handle seeing a trade be up so much and then letting it all go back. It's just not for me. But yeah, that was kind of an eye-opener for me, and I was like, wow, whatever. So I kept looking for a trade, and finally we got this trade here. There was SMT below, heavy passive buyers at this level, and aggressive sellers tried to push price through but failed, and price started to push up. Also retracement to the discount of the range. So not that many confluences, but I must have had confidence in it because I did take it on Express, and this was a really unfortunate trade as well, just like the other one that I took on my Express. This one stopped me out by 1 tick right here at the bottom, and then it went up to TP, as you can see here. And I was low-key like pissed off, crashing out, but I knew that was just trading. So yeah, I just kind of moved on, went for another trade on my Combine. So this is actually the trade I took on my Combine, which I noted beforehand that I liked a lot more. This is not the level that I took the trade off, but it looked very similar in strength to this, like 30 something orders against like around 10 orders, 6 orders, whatever. So we're rejecting from the current value area low. We're in the discount of the range, and we again have this reaction at Bookmap with a lot of orders here. As you can see, I got in right here. It came up, came almost back to break even, and then went up to hit TP for a 1 to 2. So 1 loss, 1 win on this day. Moving on to Thursday here. There's actually only 1 trade on Thursday, and it was taken on my Express. I waited for a long time. I was on the chart since like way back here. I waited all this time. Finally finding something that I was willing to take a risk on. So there's SMT above right here. We're at the current value area high, and we're at the top of this little range, like at the highest point of this little range that's been happening, and we swept the liquidity right here. Plus there's a lot of orders here on Bookmap that we just tapped into. If you had a limit order set, you could have got a crazy entry on this, but I always wait for a reaction because sometimes it'll just shoot through, and I find it much more high probability if you wait for a reaction. So this trade did go to like a 1 to 7. So a lot of people that trade like this probably use a runner, leave a runner and stuff, but that's not me at this point. I'm not leaving any runners yet, especially since I'm only trading with 1 mini. I might start using 2 minis once I get my account up a little bit more for 160 USD risk. But yeah, here was Bookmap at that level as well. A lot of orders here. See a big green circle indicating a lot of buyers are trying to push price through this level of passive sellers, and then we see this push away, and I probably got in when I seen this, maybe down here somewhere, but yeah. And yeah, yesterday, unfortunately, the guy sharing Bookmap, he was busy again, so I was watching this live stream on YouTube, and again, it was delayed, so it was really hard to get any confidence in any trades. Kind of made me give up on the day, which was unfortunate, but at least then I could say with certainty that I did have another green week. So that was one positive about it. As you'll see right here, this value right here is what it would have been if I stuck with a 4-point stop, 8-point target for all the trades that I actually executed on the week. This would be my stats, but instead, because I was switching up my risk management at the start of the week and hopping out of trades that I was already in, it is lower at 2R, which is still good. Like back when I was trading ICT, I was hyped for a 2R week because I was just having such little success with that. But as you can see from my past weeks, with a couple extra trades compared to this week, but 13R if I had followed those same rules, 4-point stop, 8-point target with all the trades I executed. Right here, 8R. So I don't have it done for down here because I wasn't using Bookmap until week 5. But yeah, I'm definitely super happy with the results over the past few weeks. And even this week, although I struggled at the start of the week, I think if I continue just executing and have confidence in the setups that I take, being patient, and using good risk management, I can't see more than like 25% of my weeks being red, definitely. Especially if I'm taking 2 trades per day. By the way, it's break even on my Express and up to R on my Combine. So yeah, to clue up my plan for next week, I think I'm just going to throw away the Combine. I don't really care. Maybe I'll full port it. But I want to focus on my Express because I do think that I'm at the level now where I can actually perform in the long run and be profitable. I know that I'm profitable now without a shadow of a doubt. I understand my edge. So next week, I've got $1,000 worth of drawdown left because of the drawdown that my account experienced trading ICT a few months ago. So I think I'm going to risk $80 per trade, try to get 2 trades per day on my Express, 2 quality trades, but not force it, of course. And yeah, that's my plan for next week. So we'll see how I do. I'll post another update next week, maybe crying if my account's gone, but hopefully not. It shouldn't be. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a good rest of your week.